Thank you. Go up to anyone on the street and ask them to name an artist and what their work is about. You'll get a blank stare. And if you're in New York, someone may call the police on you. Now go up to another man on the street and ask them to name a person in tech and what their product is. And you'll get an instantaneous answer. Oh, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. Why is that? It's because art is not relevant to the person on the street, but technology is. Is that normal? I would argue not. Art used to be a powerful vehicle to emotionally engage us on social and scientific issues, on pressing social problems, on religion and science, and our place in the world. Art inspired communication and ideas around those issues. But today, it's technology that does that. Technology empowers our conversations, engages us, makes us dream through social networks, Wikipedia, video and photo editing software, YouTube, and mobile technology. I feel that we artists need to learn from technologists and reclaim our relevance to the man on the street. So here are 8 lessons from technology for the art world. The first lesson is don't be like Todd. Todd is from the movie The Wedding Crashers. So we've all heard it, left brain, right brain. As the stereotype goes, artists are emotional and intuitive, and they don't have to be that smart. In fact, that might make them less talented. And scientists are logical and smart, but they're in an emotional deep freeze. But the problem with these stereotypes is that some of the greatest artists in history were also mathematicians and scientists. So where does that leave us? Meet Todd from The Wedding Crashers. He's an artist, so he's eccentric. He's a little bit out of it. He's prone to emotional outbursts. He showers once a month. He's the butt of other people's jokes. And sadly, that's what society thinks it takes to be an artistic genius. And it's really reinforced by the art establishment. So artists try really hard to be eccentric, hoping that that behavior will make them look like they are a genius in the eyes of the media and collectors. We find a lot of artists bragging that they got low grades in school and they did really bad in math. If you're a talented high school student, would that attract you to the art world? I don't think so. So I think that the art world has a tremendous recruitment problem. Um, if you look at technology, it has this reputation for being a nerd haven, and it attracts all the super brains, and art needs to do the same. And so we can get rid of Todd here. And since we know Google is never wrong, the #1 search result for weird artists says, artists have a reputation for being weird. Maybe it's the price they pay for being so incredibly talented, although that doesn't explain it all. Second lesson is get out of second grade. Could a second grader do this? No, unless they were a burgeoning Steve Wozniak. Could a second grader do this? Yes, and she actually did. Could a second grader do this? Well, the art establishment would say, absolutely not, because this is great, great art, and it's 4 white paintings from the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. But the second grader would tell you, yes, I can do that. And the man on the street, for him, all of those pieces are equally juvenile. The art critic responds to him with an arrogant sneer and says, you simpleton, you're just too unsophisticated to know the difference. That attitude really alienates potential fans of art and makes them feel stupid rather than elevated from their experience with the art. And so the art establishment really needs to acknowledge that the emperor has no clothes, otherwise it won't be taken seriously by the viewing public. The third lesson is don't be afraid of pretty. Steve Jobs had a great insight on how to sell MP3 players. Make them pretty, and he sold a whole lot of them. Then he applied that approach to desktops and phones and tablets, and it worked really well, and now they have a larger market cap than Google. However, in the art world, ugly is the new pretty, and oftentimes being aesthetically pleasing is looked down upon. Here's a painting that's not trying to be beautiful, and it's actually done with elephant excrement, and the floating pieces are the cutout parts of female genitalia from pornographic magazines. Now, that's cool, but the point is not that art should always be pretty. The point is that art should not be afraid of being beautiful, of being aesthetically refined with substance, because over the centuries, that's what art has done. And in terms of Apple, that has been very powerful because when something is pretty, we're hardwired to like beautiful things. And when you like them, you buy them, you talk about them, you use them, you share them with your friends. And when you don't like them, you don't do any of those things and you're not engaged. So artists need to learn from Apple. Lesson number 4 is make yourself useful. So technology is unabashedly utilitarian. It warms our houses, it cooks our food, it connects us with people. What does art do? It hangs on walls. And I mean, I'm an artist, so I'm being critical of my own industry here. Art wasn't always like this. Leonardo and Michelangelo led revolutions in the way that we think about art. In medieval times, the Gothic cathedral was the center of life. In turbulent times in Japan, Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary swordsman, recharged for battle by creating some of the most amazing paintings in history. But I think that artists look down on utilitarian fields like furniture and design and crafts and buildings and clothes. And I think that artists should rebuild the link with design and crafts and get back into people's lives and thoughts and living rooms and therefore, again, reclaim their connection to everyday people. Lesson 5 is make art portable for the 21st century nomad. The modern person is a nomad. 75% of our waking hours are spent on the move. How many things on your daily journey, how many devices do you take with you? Your cell phone charger, your laptop, your identity in the cloud, in some parts of the world, a car. And then we spend all this time traveling, spend all this time commuting. Would you carry a work of art with you? No, probably not. Would you carry a sculpture or, something like that? Absolutely not. But, there is a forgotten portable type of art, and that's fashion. And that's why I love fashion. I was just at the Savannah College of Art and Design judging one of their fashion competitions. And what I love about fashion is that it is relevant to all people. The bottom line is that all women and men have to go out the door and they have to choose something that they're going to wear. For the art world, fashion is the superhighway that connects art to the heart of the man on the street, if they can read the traffic signals. Fashion is also the fastest form of communication. When you look at someone, you see what they're wearing before they even open their mouth, and that's very powerful in a world where images move so quickly. Lesson 6 is embrace the printing press. The most important person in the history of science and history of literature was Johannes Gutenberg, because after his invention, any novel or science text could be reproduced many times over and have a far wider reach. Mass production is at the soul of technology. Makes things cheaper, it makes things faster, it gives things wider reach, and technology would not be as pervasive as it is in our lives today if it wasn't for mass production. But in the art world, we live in kind of a pre-Gutenberg mentality that a reproduction of a work of art is far inferior to the original itself, number one. And number two, the reproduction of a great work of art, say this Rembrandt, is far inferior to this original painting of a mediocre painting. I think that art really needs to embrace reproduction as a way of getting wider reach to greater audience. And interestingly, in the future, reproductions may become indistinguishable from originals, and reproductions may supersede originals in the types of features that they may have for us to zoom and pan and deep dive into the image and tag the image with all kinds of associated content. So also, we don't look down at CDs because they're not the original performance, and we don't refuse to read books because they're not the original, or DVDs because they're not the original prototype. Lesson 7 is Superman is dead. So in the last 17 years, the Nobel Prize has been shared. The Nobel Prize in Physics has been shared by at least 2 scientists. And in the last decade, the Nobel Prize in Medicine has been shared. And in technology, sharing of the credit happens even more often, and that's because great technology comes from collaborations. But in the art world, there's this concept of the Superman, of the artist who does everything by his or rarely by herself. And this painting by Warhol, Superman says, "Good. A mighty puff of my super breath has extinguished the forest fire." But Superman is dead. So many things have been done. People have seen it all and done it all. The real creativity is going to emerge at the intersections of different disciplines and different fields. And so, and that will be through collaborations. I feel that artists really need to extend a hand to reach out across the aisle and collaborate. Art and science, art and technology, art and social service, art and music, then there will be an opportunity for step functions and progress with those collaborations. So like technologists that work on a startup and share ideas and share credit, artists should too, because collaboration is a necessity and it's an opportunity. Lesson 8 is make people dream. Technology is what makes us dream today. The internet, video games, genetics, bioscience. It makes us anticipate an amazing future. And it used to be that art was that made us dream. That's not true anymore. Maybe if we as artists face some of the issues that I've outlined, we can reestablish art as a prominent place in people's lives, and maybe art can make people dream again. Thank you very much.